we know about your football background. Is that where that spear comes from, bro? That aggressive spear you have?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that when I played ball, I was just, I could move. I was, I had some speed. I had athleticism. I had the stuff that, makes up a football player. But I took pride in being like a really violent player. I was just like that old school mentality of like when people showed up to the game or people tuned in to watch me, like somebody, was going to get laid out or I was going to put somebody on their back. I mean, that's just the way that I played the game. I just showed up and I had to just wreak havoc, Yeah.
So you were a star running back at Kennesaw State. And I've watched his highlights, and it's funny you brought the spear up because if you didn't, I would. There are definitely clips in his highlight reel of him playing linebacker, right? Like you were a running back, but were you a D-end or a linebacker? I think you were a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was recruited out of high school as a linebacker because I was just a nasty player, man. I was just a defensive guy, and they sprinkled me in a little bit on offense here and there just to kind of use the talent that we had on the team in order for the team to win. So they would spread me out sometimes, throw me the ball. It was like I was a utility player on offense. I could play running back, play slot receiver, I could play split. But I was primarily a defensive guy. And then I went to Kennesaw as a linebacker. And then after my freshman year, I played, I got probably 4 or 5 games in. I'd be a rotational guy. I'd get, maybe 10, 15 snaps a game, maybe less. And then spring came around after my freshman season. We had some people change schools, and there was an opening at running back, and they just brought me in and said, hey, this is what we think is best for our team to succeed. This is what we think that we need in order to, be successful next year. And, I said, yes, sir. And just went because I ultimately wanted to win a championship, and that's what we ended up doing. But, it was the perfect fit.
And as I was saying about looking at his highlights, I counted at least 7 spears in your highlight reel. And if you haven't seen it, guys, just go look it up. Find his high school reel or college reel, I guess, and you will see some just perfectly executed spears, decleating running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends, wide receivers. Anyone who had the ball got dealt with viciously and violently. And, it was just, he was obviously just preparing for the future. Because,
man. I mean, we gotta ask which are his favorites.
All right, so let's ask that. We're big on lists here, Bron Breakker. So I got to ask you real quick. Give us your top 5 spears in the history of pro wrestling. Like which wrestlers, and you can add yourself in this, give me the top 5 guys who give the best spears or gave the best spears in the business.
I feel like I got to be penciled in somewhere. I think.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
that's why I said you can add yourself.
At least in today's era, I just don't think nobody does it like me. They can try to do it. I encourage other people to do it if they want to do it because it just makes mine look that much better because what they're doing is not what I do.
Yeah, for sure. I
think we got to pay respect to Roman. I think Roman, has, he's been doing the spear for as long as I can remember. And, he's the top guy. I think Edge is another one.
He definitely got busy.
Goldberg is one. I think Rhino is up there too.
You're hitting all the ones
for sure.
Yeah, those are. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Charlotte's gotten some good use out of it too.
Are we putting you in at 5?
Yeah,
we putting you in at 5, bro?
Yeah, wherever. That's something I just let. I just leave open for interpretation. I just let people,
decide on their own.
All right. Well, I need to know about yours. I need to know when was one time where you gave somebody a spear where you thought like, oh shit, He really got all of that one.
Yeah, I mean, so I was wrestling Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT title the second time, and we're trying. I've been like, I'd been in the lab for a couple weeks trying to figure out just like the core 4 or 5 things that define Bron Breakker as a character. When you see me work, you're going to see these XYZ. In developmental, there's just down in NXT, there's just a lot of endless amount of resources in order to figure those things out or train. And at the time, I was just kind of like, I was kind of like trying to figure that out. And we had a match, and Tommaso suggested it, and he was like, well, what about a spear? You're a football guy. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then I just had never, I haven't, I haven't given someone a legitimate, spear since I played.
Okay.
So I did it how I know how to do it.
Viciously.
And I hit him, and he went down, and we did the match, and then I came to the back, and Sean and everybody was like, that's it. We need to see that every time you're out there.
Amazing. Like I said, from the clips I saw, and I'll show you when we're done, he was laying cats out. It was violent.
He knows nothing else, man. What do you want him to do?
One speed, one way.
Watch new episodes of No Contest Wrestling every Wednesday, or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us at No Contest Wrestling Podcast on Instagram.